So, what I wanted to talk about was the purpose for all of us in this life, which is to move from fear, boo, fear, to love. Yay, love! Not so easy. Fear is a huge, honking monster hanging over most of us in our lives. I don't know how many people have actually figured out how to conquer it and are living their lives solely based on love. I don't think it's a very big percentage, but you know, whoever has managed that, yay for them, and I'm jealous. I have been struggling with fear in an excessive level for several days now. And I see my life coming in on me because of the inaction of being frozen in fear. And so I decide to look up some articles. You know, okay, if this is the goal, to move from fear to love, there's got to be an article that says, here we go, 1, 2, 3, this is what you do. Well, no, it's not that easy. But I did find a couple of articles, and I wanted to share them, and that's why I'm doing this video. Now, I will tell you that if you notice me looking in a different direction, I'm actually trying a teleprompter app on my phone for this that's projected to a TV that's behind the camera. And I don't know how well that's going to work, but I've tried to position the camera so you won't see me looking too far off. It seemed like it made more sense than having the list here and the glasses down on the end of my nose and reading it to you. We'll see how it works. So let's see. Where do we start? Okay, so the first article that I'm going to talk about is one that's by an author named Story Waters. And it's online if you want to see it in its full context. What if all fear is an illusion? Are you ready to master your fears? It's a fairly long article, and I've just clipped a few parts out of it that I wanted to share. But you should be able to Google it and find it very easily if you want to read the whole thing. Now, I could feel my eyes drooping. You know, the fatigue sucks. I'm not quite sure how to get past it. Please forgive me. I'm feeling like I have good energy inside, but my eyes are saying, oh, lady, if only you could get some decent hours of sleep. But that's beyond me, unfortunately. So just ignore my droopy eyes. So the first thing that I took out of the article is that separation is an illusion. You know, there's this oneness that's referred to, the collective consciousness, the all that is. We're all part of it. We all are comrades or allies in it, and yet we feel this separation. We judge each other. We feel like we're alone. All these things that keep us feeling separate. Well, it turns out we chose that. Oops, I think I just made my phone go quiet. Okay. Our spirits chose to experience fear, even though our spirits literally cannot experience it. They chose it for this embodiment, you know. In our lives, we are embodied. And the spirit really is immune from the fear, but in our progression to where we decided we wanted to be, it was like, okay, yes, sign her up, sign him up. Fear is the name of the force that we created in order to experience separation, differentiation from each other. Because, you know, where would the learning be if we realize that it's all about love? We have no enemies. No one's doing anything to us. We don't have any struggles. We're just all part of this big loving family, right? Our spirit, like I said, is not capable of experiencing fear, but is willingly signed on in order to experience separation. Fear is not a thing. It's not tangible. Fear is something that we cook up with our perception. Yeah, we do this to ourselves, people. To experience fear as an illusion rather than a force that controls us is to become conscious of how it is a choice. Damn, don't you hate that? Here we are wanting to blame the universe, wanting to blame other people, and it turns out we picked all of this for ourselves, and there's no one to blame but ourselves. And really, what's the point of blaming ourselves? We did this so we could grow. Well, okay, we can still do that, but, it's kind of counterproductive, I guess I would say. All right, let me move up here on the teleprompter. New experience for me. Fear is the basis for all states that we seek to avoid, label as negative, or that lead us to believe that the non-physical is a better place to be. Okay, now I get that. After my brain surgeries, I lost all my hormones, and one of the hormones I lost is cortisol, which is our fight or flight hormone, and so just the teeniest little bit of stress sends me into a tailspin. And I was very emotional to start with, so this was not a good thing. So the point is that when I get stressed, and it's minuscule compared to what makes other people stressed oftentimes, I just want to, really do need to watch my language, I guess, flippin' escape. I am just thinking, beam me up, Scotty, take me home, take me to my mother planet, wherever the hell it is, but get me out of here. And so I understand this. These things that lead us to believe that the non-physical world is a better place to be. I didn't realize it's because I'm so fearful. Go figure. So here's a nice quote. Release the illusion of fear and you will awaken from the illusion that there is any curse to being in this world. And honestly, I just told you something that I should be feeling embarrassed about, but it is my reality. When things get too stressful for me, I just want to escape. And since no one's cooperating with me and beaming me up, Scotty ain't helping me here, I will often escape through substances. Escape is what I want when I get too stressed, and maybe some of you can relate to that. And my teleprompter is wanting to go apeshit and get going here, so let me move on. Release the illusion that there is any force which opposes you. And don't we all feel that way? Oh my God, the universe has it out for me. Or, oh my God, that bastard just wants to hurt me. Oh my God, Sally down the lane must be jealous of me, and that's why she's such a creep to me. I mean, it's natural we want to blame everyone else, but guess what? There is no force that opposes you, for you are all that is, the eternal consciousness. And only from within the illusion of separation can you create the illusion of opposing yourself. We chose this, people. We really don't get to blame all those other people. Sucks, doesn't it? It really sucks. It's so much easier to blame everyone else. There is nothing to fear except the illusions we create to provoke fear. So not only did we choose it, but we're creating all these scenarios that drive us into this feeling that everyone's out to get us, the universe or the world is out to get us. We do that part too. Man, if we're going to be angry at someone, it should be at ourselves, right? Not really. Know that all experiences of fear can be transformed by facing that fear, journeying into it, and releasing it. The release occurs when you realize you did not need to fear whatever it is you felt you needed to fear. This is to realize that the power to not be in fear was always with you, just like the ability to clap those little red slippers together 3 times and go home for Dorothy. She had it all along, and we have it too. It's just figuring out that we have that power and remembering it when we need it. Still, no 1, 2, 3, this is how you do it. So I don't know how helpful this is, but it's interesting, right? When you walk through the illusions of your fear, what awaits you on the other side is love, freedom, and joy. Oh my God, does that not sound heavenly? I hear it exists. I have not found it yet. Or you can choose to create and explore more fears. Again, this is under our control. We often do not realize the ways in which we become attached to our experience of suffering because of how it can come to define us. Without realizing it, we can connect with each other through experiences of suffering rather than experiences of love. It may sound strange to someone deep in suffering, but when you reach the choice to release fear as a part of your self-definition, there can often be resistance. And you know what? When you've had suffering since, you're a very little child, it does become habit. And I have realized this in the past and tried to say, done with it. I've got suffering down. Check. It's off the list. Now I'm on the other side of it. And yet, this is apparently a hard habit to break because I'm still suffering, which is why I had my pity party earlier. Again, where's the damn 1, 2, 3? This is how you do it. They just don't make it that easy on us, do they? You do not need to save the world from suffering either. And a lot of people get stuck in that trap. They get so outraged at the awful things that are going on in the world and thinking that they should be doing something to change it. Here's the logic behind that statement: you do not need to save the world from suffering. The best you can do is save yourself from suffering to aid the world in its release of suffering. This is because when you cease to suffer, you will ground that reality further into the mass consciousness. It is then, once you are perceiving from a basis of love rather than fear, that you can be the most effective catalyst by fearlessly being yourself and modeling that state of consciousness. So really, when we're so concerned about the suffering in the world, we're kind of like fobbing off our own responsibility by tending to our own garden, as they say. The best thing we can do for the world is to take care of our own shit and figure out how to live in love rather than fear. I know I'm going to say it again, and you were anticipating it, weren't you? Where's the damn 1, 2, 3? This is how you do it. I know I'm getting a little demanding here, but I would like this to be a little easier than it is. Can you relate? Now, this part I found very interesting. Concepts of the devil, evil, mistakes, and being wrong are all perceptual tricks created through the illusion of fear. Fear has the ability to create the illusion of darkness. All those things, the devil, evil, mistakes, being wrong, people believe in demons, think they're victims, can't fight back. They create them. We create them. That which creates the illusion is light. You are light. We all are light. We are all creators of the illusion. We are all creators of that which we experience as darkness. But fear is not a mistake. It is a fundamental ingredient within the creation of all life experienced through individuality, which is why we cooked this up. Duality. We got all this lovely oneness, but we wanted to experience the other side, feeling separated from everyone else. So we came up with the fear. Clever, huh? Yeah. It is not wrong to fear, but know that to master your fear is to master your ability to become a conscious creator from within the illusion of individuality. And I know you've heard that. We are the creators of our own reality. We create our fear too. So is it really as simple as saying, wait a minute, I created this fear. Hell, if I want this anymore, I think I'll just create love instead. Could it be that simple? Hard to wrap your mind around, isn't it? And that's because we fear letting go of fear. Because we believe our fear protects us from danger, evil, and harm. The frightening qualities of whatever we focus our fear upon are not inherent to what we fear. They are created by our fear of it. This is a paradoxical loop that can only be broken through your courage to not fear. We have to be brave enough to choose not to fear. In other words, we have to decide we love ourselves enough that we're not going to put ourselves through all that fear shit. And considering that, like I said, there's probably a tiny percentage of people that have figured this out, this is not an easy one to find the courage for. Doesn't mean it's not there, doesn't mean we're not capable, but it's not going to be like, there you go, I got it, baby. It's work. It takes practice. To let go of fear is to understand that you do not need fear to protect yourself. The experience of I will not fear is the experience of putting down the shields and protections you took on through your fear. We got used to fighting. We got used to fighting all the time. That's what it comes down to. To be without fear is to be within a reality where things do not go wrong. What was once perceived as a negative is now felt to be an unexpected twist in the road that will reveal its purpose in time. To be without fear is to be in a playful, spontaneous adventure that you feel safe to fully engage in. See, I never feel safe because I've gotten addicted to always looking around the corner wondering what's going to knock me on my ass next. It's going to be hard. I bet you're kind of thinking to yourself the ways that you've done the same thing. So, let's see. To be without fear does not mean to be without that edge that drives you. The face of what motivates you will change into one that does not drive through the seeking to escape or avoid the negative. So, I already talked about the escapism, how I just want to get the hell out of here, and then the love and light people are the ones trying to ignore the negative. So it's still escape. We're all messed up pretty much, but we all have this capability of fixing it. When you release fear, your leading edge becomes one of passion and excitement instead of fear and pain avoidance. Oh my God. A life filled with passion and excitement instead of pain and fear? It does sound heavenly, doesn't it? Pun intended. So, life beyond fear. A feeling similar to fear continues to exist, but it does not contain pain. This article says it's more like the feeling of getting on a roller coaster or doing a bungee jump. You know that, oh God, I'm so excited, but I'm so scared, and I know I'm going to scream, and I hope I don't wet my pants. A positively exhilarating type of scary, the type people pay to experience. Yeah, thrill rides, scary movies, haunted houses. The knowing you are diving into the unknown The feeling you are expanding through your welcoming of the experience before you. And then the expansion of consciousness caused by the never-ending spiraling evolution of our eternal consciousness. All that is, which is divine. We are part of that. We are all divine. And yet, most of us go through our lives thinking that the divine is separate from us when we're actually part of it. And then when you learn you're part of it, you still can't wrap your mind about it. It's like, you have to effing be kidding me. Me, divine? Look at all my imperfections. What we're experiencing is for the benefit of all in this collective consciousness. All that is. Some of us experience this so that that group doesn't have to. Some of us experience this so that that group doesn't have to. Yet every being, every part of all that is, benefits from what's learned. That's kind of cool, really. Within this lifetime, you can experience the adventure of living without fear while retaining some memory of what fear, pain, and suffering are, creating an experience of contrast within the human experience. Contrast, again, duality. Fear is a tool of illusion used to expand consciousness only when desired. There is no force that inflicts fear except the choice of our spirit to experience fear. Can something be inflicted if it is willingly chosen? No, because inflicting pain upon somebody implies that this person is choosing to be a big old meanie to that victim over there. Well, the victim over there chose the experience. So can they really say the pain is being inflicted on them involuntarily when they chose it? To understand this is to have released the fear that something went wrong when fear and suffering were created. Fear is merely one of the tools many are choosing to process and release because we are ready to move to new experiences. Yeah, like happiness, peace, and bliss, huh? I vote for that. Having explored fear for so long, they are choosing to process and release it. This is why there is so much fear being released and expressed at the moment. It is not the world going deeper into fear. It is the world processing its fear. And that's reassuring, isn't it? Because, yeah, look at all the stuff that's being posted in social media about all the shit going on in the world, and everyone's thinking, oh my God, it's getting scarier and scarier. Are we going to survive? Are we going to make it through? It's kind of nice to know it's a releasing of the fear, and that joy and bliss and happiness is on the other side of it. I mean, isn't it? But when we're in the middle of fear, will we remember this? That's a whole other question. You have chosen to live this life both where and when you are now as you awaken to your spirit, with the reason of living the life you are leading. Continue to live and engage in your life to further understand your choice to be you. Here's the big thing at the very end of the article. Release fear of your life, from your life, and lovingly create your own adventure of ever-evolving truth and meaning. Release fear of your life, from your life. Again, I still want the 1, 2, 3, here is how you do it. But at least now we know what we're supposed to be doing. And that's a step forward, right? Now, there was another article. Let me move it up here. There are ways we can work toward this, as it turns out. And it's not 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first suggestion is to start your day with love. Spend each morning with yourself in prayer or meditation. And I think a lot of us meditate at night when we're worn out and we're likely to fall asleep if we can't get in the zone before that happens. Let your first interactions with others in your household, demonstrate your love for them by making breakfast or coffee, leaving a kind note, or saying, "I love you." This will connect you to the universal reality of love. If we start our days, ooh, my screen just went wacko. If we start our days with love, fear has little room to grow and operate. Fear will have to fight hard to Fear will have to fight hard to derail your day. So in other words, this is kind of satisfying. You're starting your day off with love and flipping off fear at the same time. Ha ha ha, I just filled it up with love. You're going to have to try really hard to mess with my day now. There's satisfaction in that. The second thing is to listen with love. The fight or flight instinct is strong in all of us, and way stronger in those of us that have had a lot of trauma. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. Like over the top. When confronted or attacked, our first instinct is to defend ourselves by fleeing or fighting. Instead of doing either, stand firm with loving patience. Fear divides, but love unites. There's 2. Now 3. A lot of people aren't going to like this. And sorry, men, but especially not you guys. Be vulnerable. Any difficult experience can be an opportunity for love if we can dare to become vulnerable with ourselves and others. Being willing to become vulnerable allows others to relax and respond in kind. Deep sharing can occur, fertile ground for love. And I guess that's why I spill my guts on this channel, why I make myself so vulnerable. Because I want to make other people see that I survived it. I didn't die of embarrassment or humiliation. Maybe some people think I should crawl under a rock after revealing some of the things I do. But the people I hope to reach are the ones that have been holding all that in and trying to act stoic and tough all the time and like they aren't hurting. I want them to know it's okay to be vulnerable. And actually, it's something to be admired. I mean, I hope that's a conclusion that people come to. It actually shows great strength to allow yourself to show your vulnerabilities. That's my belief. And according to this, it allows others to respond in kind, which opens all of us up to deep sharing, which is fertile ground for love. Number 4, practice radical surrender and acceptance. And I started scratching on radical. I don't know why I don't like that they add radical in there. It's my own thing. Can't even explain it. Fear thrives when we're unwilling to accept our circumstances as they are, or when we're uncertain about how things will unfold. So, not being mindful, we're all worried about the future, what might happen. If we can be in a position of radical surrender, we learn to let go of uncertainty. We let go of our expectations of how we wanted things or people to turn out. We just accept that what is what is supposed to be. When we do this, we are free to love people for who they truly are, not who we want them to be. And then the last one is, develop your powers of empathy. When you see through the eyes of another, you will grow in your capacity to experience love everywhere and in all people. When you're tempted to judge or ostracize another person, and it's because of fear, something triggers that fear, and so there's our defensiveness. We go on the attack. Remember the deep connection you share with this person. Have the courage to love them as you would love yourself or someone close to you. And honestly, I think that's the big block, is that most of us are still working on loving ourselves. So if we're loving others as we would love ourselves and we don't love ourselves, there ain't a whole hell of a lot of love going on. So it does go back to that self-love. And there are a lot of books available, Kindle and regular books, and probably plenty of YouTube videos. And on my website, I have this blog post called Bucket of Love, which is the way I first started turning my thinking around. Obviously, I'm not all there. I just got the pun. Obviously, I'm not all there. But I'm not all there on self-love either. But I have made huge progress. Yet, days happen like today where suddenly I am just mooed in the toilet and down on myself, so not loving. And it actually took me talking to someone else about, how they were not being the person I knew they wanted to be, for me to see, oh, yeah, okay, I need to kick my own ass and crawl out of my pity party and get this love video going. Because really that is what this all boils down to. Love. If you had a choice, if there was nothing else in your reality other than you get to pick between fear and love, everything else was hunky-dory, you had no complaints about life, you had no needs, you realized that everything was perfect, which would you pick, fear or love? It's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? And yet it's so hard to reach that point as we're living our lives and feeling so weighted down and squished by all the pressures. I don't have the answers. I just wanted to present some information that I found interesting and put my own little quirky spin on it. And I'm lucky that I got my energy back, because I literally was going to go lay down in my little chair and have a nap. And then it was like, oh, this ain't happening. I guess I'll get back on the horse and try that video again. I don't know how droopy my eyes are going to look. I don't know how bad I'm going to look. But you know what? I had to quit worrying about that a long time ago. People want to judge me? Judge away. There's no one that can judge me more harshly than I judge myself. And most of you that are watching this can relate to that, I'm pretty sure. All right. I'm not sure if this made sense. I'm not sure how awkward it's going to look that I was looking past the camera at the TV. Frankly, I think that's a pretty cool thing, if it works okay. So if you'd like to comment and let me know if it was too distracting or if you found it flowed just fine, I'd appreciate it. Also, a thumbs up to the video would be appreciated. I know maybe I don't have that many subscribers, but I think the likes help. So, if you feel so inclined, I'm not begging or anything. It's up to you totally. And if you want to subscribe, there's a little pink box in the lower right-hand corner. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate all of you. Bye-bye.